Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Hi everyone. Our next lecture is on phase diagram. A phase diagram is a chart that is used to determine the phases and their compositions that occur and coexist at equilibrium for any combination of temperature and alloy composition. It is a useful tool for understanding and controlling the structures of a system containing more than one element. However, in this lecture, we focus on a system containing only two elements. A binary phase diagram is constructed to determine the phase of phases that are formed when the composition of the two elements are varied over a range of temperature. A binary phase diagram is a plot of composition of the elements versus the temperature. The compositions of the elements can be in mole percent or weight percent or atomic percent. There are two types of binary phase diagram, i.e. the isomorphous phase diagram that represents the change in phase in an unlimited solubility at a particular temperature. On the other hand, the eutectic phase diagram represents the changes in phase in a limited solubility system at temperature of interest. Now, let us study the isomorphous phase diagram of element X and Y. Tx is melting or freezing temperature for pure metal X, and Ty is the melting or freezing temperature for pure metal Y. In area A, all the solid solution of X and Y are in a form of liquid. On the other hand, all the solid solution of the two elements are in solid form in area C. A mixture of solid and liquid phases of the solid solution can be obtained in area B. Line 1 is the liquidous line where the solid phase of the solid solution starts to form. Note that above this liquidous line, the alloy is 100% liquid. Whereas in line 2, the final liquid phase present in the solid solution system. Below this solidus line, the alloy is 100% solid. Now let us take an example of a copper-nickel alloy phase diagram. Remember that this is the melting or freezing temperature for pure copper, and this is the melting or freezing temperature for pure nickel. Why? Why is this point represent both the melting and freezing temperature for the pure element? Let's say if we cool a hot melt copper metal at 1500 degrees Celsius down to 1085 degrees Celsius, a solid copper metal will start to form at this temperature. Hence, this point is called a freezing point. Likewise, at this point also, the metal starts to melt when it is heated from room temperature to 1085 degrees Celsius. Now, let us consider the alloy containing 40% nickel. At point A, all the copper-nickel alloy is in a form of liquid, and all the alloy is in a form of solid at point C. Point B is where the liquid and the solid phase of the copper-nickel alloy coexist. Now, let us cool this copper-nickel alloy from 1500 to 1280 degrees Celsius. The copper-nickel alloy solid, i.e. the alpha, starts to form and it keeps growing until it reaches 1240 degrees Celsius, where at this point, the remaining liquid copper-nickel alloy completely solidified. Don't forget that a phase diagram is used to determine the phases and their composition at the point of interest. Therefore, we want to know the composition and the amount of each phase present at point of interest, i.e. at point A, point B, and point C. We know that at point A and C, copper-nickel alloy is fully in liquid and solid form respectively. Therefore, at point A, the alloy is 100% liquid. The same goes to point C, where the alloy is 100% in solid form. And if we convert the amount of these phases into gram, we get the value equal to weight of the alloy, say 50 gram. Both the liquid and the solid alloy contains 40% nickel. We know that both liquid and solid alpha coexist at point B. Therefore, we use lever rule to determine the amount of each phase present. So, what is lever rule? Let's say we are interested to know the fraction of the liquid phase in point B. First, we need to draw a T line that connects the liquidus and the solidus line. And then, the fraction of the liquid phase is taken by taking the length of the other phase, i.e. the solid phase, and divided by the total T line. Now, let us determine the composition of each phase from the phase diagram. C note is the composition of the alloy of interest, i.e. the 40% nickel. C alpha is the composition of the solid phase present at point B, which contains 48% nickel. And Cl is the liquid phase at point B, and it contains 38% nickel. We then include these values into the equation, and we get 80% liquid present in the alloy composition at point B. Since 80% of the alloy at point B is liquid, then the remaining 20% of the alloy is solid. Now let us tabulate all this information in a table. We know that at point B, the phase present is liquid and solid. And the composition of liquid and solid is 38% and 48% of nickel respectively. Using lever rule, we know that at point B, 80% of the alloy is in a form of liquid and the remaining 20% is in a form of solid. If we are interested to know this amount in grams, then we have to multiply with the initial weight of the alloy, and we get 40 grams of liquid present at point B. Then the remaining 10 grams of the alloy is in a form of solid. Now, what is the amount of nickel and copper in each phase? Because we know that both phases consist of copper and nickel. Earlier, we know that the liquid phase contains 38% of nickel. Therefore, we multiply this value with 40 grams, which is the weight of the liquid at point B, and we get 15.2 grams nickel exists in the liquid phase. And the remaining 24.8 grams of the alloy is copper. The same steps are taken to calculate the amount of copper and nickel in the solid phase. To check whether our calculations are correct, we need to total again these values, and we should get equal to the initial value of the alloy. Next, we are interested to know the microstructure of the phase or phases that present at the point of interest. We know that at point A, all the alloy is in a form of liquid, and the composition of liquid contains 40% nickel. And when we continue to cool the alloy down to point 1, a small amount of solid phase is formed. The composition of the liquid is still 40% because it falls on the liquidus line of the phase diagram when a T line is drawn. And finally, and later, this solid phase starts to grow bigger as the alloy is further cooled to point B. Remember that at this point, the composition of the liquid is 38% nickel. At point 2, most of the alloy has been solidified. And finally, the alloy is completely solidified after passing point 2. Now, let us summarize this cooling history in a cooling curve. A cooling curve is the plot of time versus temperature. From the cooling curve, we know that the liquid alloy starts to solidify at point 1, which is at 1280 degrees Celsius, and completely solidify at 1240 degrees Celsius. At this temperature range, both liquid and solid phase of the alloy coexist. Below 1240 degrees Celsius, the alloy is completely solidified. Note that in an unlimited solubility system, a freezing range occurs, which means that the alloy transforms from all liquid to all solid in a range of freezing temperature, not at constant temperature like in their pure metal forms. Thank you. Hope you enjoy and understand the lecture.